Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. Flooding creates dangerous, potentially deadly conditions across much of Montana tonight.
The high, fast-moving water even washing out roads and bridges, flooding homes and businesses across central Montana.
Now, that story in just a moment, but first breaking news tonight as a Bighorn County man is charged with the death of a 5-year-old girl. That
little girl brought into the Bighorn County Hospital Monday morning unresponsive. 34-year-old Bridger Boyd, who lives near Busby, is now held on $1 million bond, being held tonight in the Yellowstone County Jail. The Bighorn County Sheriff, along with State Child Protective Services, were alerted immediately after the girl was brought into the hospital Monday and started their investigation. Court documents allege that Boyd admitted to Undersheriff Michael Fuss that he slammed the child's head against the wall and struck her with his fists at his home near Busby several days earlier.
Boyd and his wife had several foster care children in their custody, including the victim. All have now been removed from the household and placed in secure alternatives. Now, Bighorn County Attorney Jay Harris says Boyd is being prosecuted under the felony murder rule.
And that's the rule that provides if a death occurs in the course of certain felonies, including aggravated assault, the defendant can be charged with deliberate homicide, which in Montana is punishable by up to life in prison, the death penalty, or up to 100 years in prison.
As floodwaters rise across the state tonight, one of the worst hit areas, the small town of Augusta, some 50 miles west of Great Falls.
That's where high water has nearly completely cut off the community. Tonight, Q2's Samantha Harrelson has been following the story along with our affiliates in the area and joins us now with the very latest. Sammy?
Jay and Jeanelle, all roads in and out of Augusta have been closed. Our reporter in the area actually almost didn't make it out today. Beyond road closures around the area, the Highway 21 bridge over the Elk River has been washed out with the rising waters. Augusta residents say the water rose so quickly it took them off guard. Residents in the area say Elk Creek began to rise around 8 o'clock this morning and continued throughout the afternoon. Water flowing freely down many of the streets in town, and homes along Main Street are seeing the worst of it. Residents now busy doing what they can to protect their homes and businesses from further damage.
It is horrendous. This happened overnight, and I couldn't believe it. It is so devastating for all concerned. Your heart just goes out to everyone.
Now, this is the weekend of the Augusta Rodeo. Officials say the rodeo grounds are currently underwater, and they expect to have a decision on whether or not the event will be a go later this week. Jay and Jeanelle.
All right. Thanks so much, Sammy.
Well, flooding also a big concern in the Helena Valley. The Lewis and Clark County Disaster and Emergency Services says that both the Dearborn River and the 10-Mile Creek in the valley in Helena are at or above flood stage tonight.
In Missoula, emergency managers also reporting water levels are on the rise again and have issued a flood advisory for that area. Because of the recent heavy rain, the Clark Fork River above Missoula is expected to rise by as much as 1.5 feet within the next 24 hours. The National Weather Service says widespread flooding from East Missoula to the Bitterroot River is possible. So far, multiple streets have closed and up to 15 homes are impacted.
So there you have it, flooding all across the state tonight. Bob McGuire is here with us now. And Bob, you've got news that here in Billings, we're close to reaching our normal precipitation level for the entire year.
It just blows me away. We picked up over 2.20 inches of rain in the last 4 days, and that takes us well over 13 inches for the year. So we are now less than half an inch away from getting tying our average annual rainfall for Billings. Wow, amazing. Now, we're not the only one with a lot of rain. Take a look at the threat board. You can see all the things here are all flood advisories and flood warnings. Let's show you this. This is a flood watch. This is stays with us until tomorrow morning. Basically, everybody in the mountainous parts of the state, all the streams and the creeks there are in flood stage now, or expected to go above flood stage. And take a look at this. Here's Teton and Yellowstone, I should say Teton and Lewis and Clark counties. They've had 3 to 8 inches of rain in the last 3 days, so all streams and rivers in that area are at flood stage right now. It is amazing. And plus, we also have one other thing I want to show you, one other storm. We do have a flood warning on the Muscle Shell from Harleton all the way to Lavina. That's a flood warning there as well. We'll have more in your forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, to help with statewide flooding recovery efforts, Governor Steve Bullock now asking for a presidential major disaster declaration from FEMA. Montana is seeing historic flooding this spring in many parts of the state. Since April 21 counties, 8 cities, and 3 tribes have declared flood emergencies. The governor issued a statewide disaster declaration in May. Bullock's office says the presidential disaster declaration would allow the state and counties to request federal funds to repair damaged infrastructure.
Well, finally, today we get a look at some potential plans for the One Big Sky development concept in downtown Billings.
This morning, the Billings Chamber hosted a breakfast for the public as designs for a potential catalyst project were presented. Q2's Zoe Zandora standing by now with details. Zoe.
That's right, Jay and Jeanelle. The HVS Convention Sports and Entertainment Facility of Chicago presented its study to a few hundred who showed up to the breakfast. This feasibility study to build a convention center to act as a catalytic project for a mixed-use development and redevelopment to downtown Billings. This is to be included in the early stages of the proposed One Big Sky development. The group recommends a 40,000 square foot multi-purpose ballroom and to be used for banquets, light exhibition, and large assembly meeting space, 10,000 square foot junior ballroom, and a 16,000 square foot meeting room for a block out for a variety of large and small meeting spaces.
I think there's a lot of people who are excited about what this could do for Billings, and I picked that up from the audience today in their questions, and it seemed to be a lot of enthusiasm for the project. Think of a convention center like the living room of your community. It's important to the community as a place to gather, but it's also a place where you invite guests. So it would encourage, we think, up to over 30,000 annual overnight visitations to Billings. So it would have an important impact in terms of Billings being the premier convention destination in Montana and an important regional destination.
And I also spoke with Chamber President and CEO John Brewer. He told me one of the major questions is where this is going to be in downtown Billings, and those specifics, he says, should come together within the next 7 months. Back to you, Jay and Jeanelle.
All right, thank you, Zoe.
Well, we've heard it before. So much of life is about being in the right place at the right time.
For the wood-burning artist behind Girl Wood, that's exactly what it took to propel a special talent into a career. Tonight, MTN's Brandon Sullivan has the story in this week's Montana Made.
I have no particular affinity towards the flame. I just appreciate the medium. I think it's a lost art. This isn't something you can go to art school for and learn how to burn wood. This is something I had to sit down and go through every step of the process to figure out how to do it. And I'm still figuring out how to do it. I still don't think I have a clue a lot of times. My plan is to have no plan. I don't know how I want to do this yet. Because I think if you can get to the end result 15 different ways, I want to know every different way to get there. Like, I need to know that there's not just one way to accomplish it. Because the process is the most important part to me.
For the last 6 years, Melissa Burns has built something unique. Her work, which can be seen around Billings, also goes out across the country and into Canada.
Without other people seeing something that I couldn't see, I don't think I'd be here. Without Jim at Red Ox saying, this is your next step, this is where you need to be, and for 6 months me going, nah, I'm good, like, I'm fine. Now it's where I'm at, and he was right.
Her business is thriving, and she takes nothing for granted. For Melissa, the real process began with her dad. He gave her first art supplies. A general contractor by trade, when he would build something, she would take it apart and put it back together again. The two were inseparable.
He really kind of pushed me in that area where I don't think I would have pushed myself. After he passed, I found an old wood burning pen he bought me and I started using it, and it kind of propelled into Girlwood, and it's always been bittersweet for me because he was the one really pushing me, and I didn't want to, and now I have art shows, I have a gallery, I have art all over the place, and I have that part of me that feels like I wish he was here to see it, and it's not fair because he's the one who wanted me to do this, and now I'm doing it and he's not here to see it. But I've gotten to the point where I feel like that was his final gift to me, was to, I think his final gift to me was this art. When he passed. And I started doing this as a therapeutic measure to just lose myself in something so I didn't have to think about how bad my heart hurt without him. This was something I could do to move forward and move on. It just became something that I think translated into other people's lives in a way that I didn't expect, because for me, it's my journey. And I feel like the wood burnings that come out are kind of like physical manifestations of lessons that I've learned. You don't realize how much you've grown until you see where you've come from. So I like to just move forward.
In Billings, Brandon Sullivan, MTN News.
Wow.
Very impressive, huh?
Thanks so much.
I would say that's a special talent.
Yes. Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, the State Department of Justice unveils a new website to encourage reporting of sexual assault when it happens. We'll show you.
And coming up in sports tonight, we're going to hit the racquetball court with Q2's Athletes of the Week, proving that age is just a number.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.